session. Otherwise, what happen when you are going for a meditation? At that time, the first thing that a meditation process have to do is to make you relaxed. They have to try for it. Then around 5-10 minutes you are spending over there, and then again, yeah, and then again the real meditation will start. So because it is a physical activity, you are doing pranayams, you are chanting om, you are saying that like I'm just sitting, I'm just taking breaths, I'm not doing any more physical activity, but still you can consider this pranayams, all these chantings, these are the real exercises. It can burn calories, or the second thing is that it will take you, it will relax your all the muscles, it will all your body controls that will be relaxed during that time. It is a natural kriyas or natural flow that what happen when you start doing a pranayam. At that time, when you start breathing exercises, after certain breathing exercises, your mind will be at stable level. I don't mean stable means your mind will not generate thoughts, but what I am saying, when you are in a stable level, at that level the control of mind from the body, that will be lesser compared to the normal, our normal awakening situation, or our when we are moving here and there, we are talking. Except that situation, this will be a different thing. Your mind control will be removed. Because of that, your all the glands, your all the glands that will come to the natural level. When it comes to the natural level, it will these glands will reduce. I can say reduce, or I can say increase. Reduce in such a way that it will reduce the unnecessary movements from the specific organs. That is the first thing. Or I can say it will increase those chemicals which will go to the specific organs, and that will try to heal. In both the ways, it will heal your body. This is the physical phenomena that will happen, and because of that, your body will start relaxing after you do a anulom vilom or any other pranayam. The natural condition is that you should do at least 40 anulom vilom pranayam. Why we are given this number? The 40 numbers are there. You can do 100, you can do 10 only, you can do 20 only, but it is not up to 20, 10, 40. It is up to the situation where what you feel. You can measure by yourself. You can do meditation. Before that you do pranayam. Just do 10 pranayams only and sit in meditation. Feel the reaction of the body. Next day you can do it for a 20. Next day you can do it for a 30, and then you can go for a 40. 40 is a time, like 40 is a number where your body automatically start relaxing because of the internal process is going on. So 40 is a level where your body starts reacting, the heat will be generating in the body, and then the flow is like this. You are activating yourself, and suddenly it will come down. So it is like this. The flow is like this. So this will happen after 40 anulom vilom pranayam. Same way, the numbers that we had decided, 30 small soham, small breathing, long breathing, small breathing, long breathing, small breathing, long breathing. Again, why there are two breathing systems? Why there is a long system? Why there is a small system? Let me explain you it in different way. When we are doing the small breathing, okay, assume it in such a way that you have a hand pump for air pressure. You are filling the air in your car or whatever will be the device. You are pressuring. You are just pressuring it like this. If you are doing this, at that time, the level efforts from your body, that will be different. Your different muscles will be in movement when you are doing a small movements. But when you are doing a long movement, considering breathing as well, when you are doing a long movements, at that time your whole body muscles that will be in a different scenario. They will be using a different portions of your muscles. Your breathing system will be different. Same way, when you are doing a small breathing or small soham, at that time your, we can say, your consciousness, your chetna, that have a two portions. It will go in deeper and it will expand. There are two ways. It might expand and it will go in. So that means whether you are going on a 0 to 100, and the second one is you are going to 0 to -10, -20, -30, whatever you can consider. So when you are doing a small breathing, at that time you are putting yourself below 0. And when you are doing a higher one, that means the big pranayams or big breathing or Mota Soham, in that case, from 0, it will go to the higher state. So if you do that, what will be the situation of your consciousness? Let's say if we do just long Soham, long breathing, what happened? When you do long breathing, at that time, you are going from 0 to 30. But what about 0 minus 30? Again, that is your own consciousness where you are not going. You are just expanding yourself on one way. You are saying, I am just expanding on one side, but what about the other side? In the same way, when you are expanding your consciousness, it should be all around. And to do so, we are using two separate pranayams, which is a small pranayam and which is a long pranayam. Small pranayam or small breathing will take you to the smaller level, that means a negative level, where your deeper consciousness will be there. It will take you to the deeper environment of your mind. The longer one, it will take you to the your external environment. So in these two ways it will work, and that's why we are doing this pranayam. Okay? Yeah. So in this way, we will be doing these two pranayams. Now, last thing is that we are doing Khechari Mudra. The reason of Khechari Mudra is, again, see, basically your body will be relaxed when all the glands are working properly. When you are talking, when you are behaving, when you are doing certain work, at that time your glands have a positive or negative impact, and as you are working, it will create an unbalanced situation. In that situation, you need to make it balance, and that's why we are doing this Khechari Mudra. The basic purpose of doing Khechari Mudra is that when you take your tongue in, it will go in, it will activate your centers over there. It will activate your, you can say, small brain, which is medulla oblongata over here. Medulla oblongata is responsible for controlling your whole adrenal glands, all 10 glands which is available, and it will control, it will stabilize your mind. And this is how the physical level I am talking about. Now the second level is that when you are talking about the energy, see, there are the ways you can do meditation without doing any of the kriyas. You can just sit in meditation. So it doesn't mean that your flow will be different. Your flow will be the same. When you do meditation, at that time, the flow will be the same, whatever will be the flow. Let's say if you are driving a car. So what will be the flow? Initially, your car is at 0 level where it's not moving. Then you are giving ignition, so it will start moving, and later on you have to press a brake. So, or you are taking your leg from the pedal, so it will again go down. So it is like this. The flow is like this. Same way, when you do meditation, what happens? Even when you do pranayam or when you don't do pranayam, when you do pranayam, the flow is like this. You are stable and you are giving pedal, and now it's on higher level where you are so much active, and then it will take you to the lower level where you are now relaxing yourself. So this is the downward trends of this is the meditation trend. Same way, when you do meditation, and at that time, let's say you are not doing any type of pranayam, you are just you can sit like this, you don't have to do anything. At that time again, the flow will not change, the flow will be the same. It will take you to the higher mental activity level. When you sit in meditation, close your eyes, at that time the mental activities will be higher. Then at certain level, it will start relaxing. Your mind is now going downwards. So because of that, again your meditation will be going deeper, but that will be about after 15, 20, 25 minutes. So after 25 minutes, you are in the real meditation, which gives you benefit, which gives you relaxation, which gives you energy movements, and exactly after 25 minutes your meditation gonna end. So exactly you are creating a situation where you have to be seated after 25 minutes, rather than that you are just completing your meditations. And it's like you are preparing a food, and exactly after preparing a food you are saying, "No, I don't want to eat." Everything is ready, now everything is on the table, and now you are saying, "I don't want to eat anything." So the real benefit is when you eat the food, not when you make the food. Yeah, making is one of the process, but once you eat the food, then only your body will get a benefit. So that's why we are doing this pranayam, where what happen when you do Om, Anulom Vilom Pranayam, Soham and the Khenchir Mudra. At that time, immediately it will take you to the higher level of the mental activity, it will take you to the higher level of the energy activity, and you are just giving this control to the energy, your body control to the energy, and now the energy is activated. Now the whole control is on his end. If you don't do this, what happens, the energy will increase, and then later on it will come to the peak level, and then it will take the control of your body, and then you are in a real meditation. So finally the thing is that when you do meditation, any type of meditation, you should have a warm-up exercises, and this is the warm-up exercises. These warm-up exercises will take you to the higher level of energy, where you have to put yourself over there. So this is how we are doing meditation, and why this is how we are doing all these kriyas, and it is very important to do all these kriyas before you sit in meditation. Whether you are sitting in meditation for you can say 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, it's up to you. But whenever you sit in meditation, let's say you are sitting in meditation before 1 hour, and after 1 hour or after 3 hour or 2 hour you are thinking, okay, let me sit meditation again. You have to perform the same kriyas and same exercises, and then you sit in meditation. If you want to take a real benefit, if you want to just relax yourself, then okay, don't do that. But if you want to take a real benefit of the meditation, then in that case, whenever you do meditation, before that you need to spend your 5 to 10 minutes in this process. So this is how it works. Sometimes it happens that when you sit in meditation, when you are sitting in meditation, and at that time you have to, like someone is calling you, someone is saying that okay, just come for a 1 minute, or someone is knocking the door, and then you have to go there. In that situation, don't worry, do that like whatever you have to do, and then again you sit in meditation. At that time, that's okay. You don't have to do all these kriyas, because you are already in level and you are just breaking in between and just going and sit again. So that's okay. But if your time frame is totally different, morning and evening, then in both the times you have to do meditation, and in both the times you have to take a milk after meditation. So this is how the system of meditation you have to perform. Why we are doing all these kriyas, physical level and energy level, we have to increase the energy. And just keep in mind that it doesn't mean that when you increase the energy, the main purpose, the whole purpose of the meditation is to increase the awareness, increase the energy in our body, and then you don't have to worry about the meditation. Normal situation is that when you do meditation, when you do all these kriyas, let's say if I am doing a physical exercise, like I am doing dumbbells or I am doing sit-ups or something. The normal situation is that when you do that, and if you want to increase the muscle power, initially you are doing only 40, now you have to do 50, then you have to do 60, then you have to do 80. So ultimately your muscles will be more tighter, your muscles have a more power, so everything in mind is that you have to increase it. But when you talk about the meditation, when you talk about the energy, it's not the same. If you do more, it's okay, it's a physical exercise after a certain level, but the minimum will be there. Let's say 40 Anulom Vilom Pranayam, that will be there, and if it is there, then in that case the energy is already at that level. Now again you are forcing your energy to go more higher, it will not, because already the ignition is started. Let's say your car is there, your car is in a such a situation that you have to do it for 2 or 3 or 4 time ignition, but once the ignition is started, then what? Still if you carry on the same thing, it will not make any difference. Same way when you are doing pranayam, this is my observation, I had observed it from myself, from the people, that initially when you are doing, let's say 40 pranayams, at level of 40 pranayams the energy will start rising. This is the first thing. But sometimes it happens that after even, let's say, some months or years of experience, you don't have to do more. Sometimes immediately after doing only 20 pranayams, it will take you to the higher level. You don't require to go for a 40. At that time the energy will start automatically, and suddenly it will take you to that position. You can't do those pranayams. You are trying to do, but your hands are not working, your body movements are not working, you are losing your control of your body, and you are going into the meditation. Then this is the stage. Why? Because you had developed such a trend that initially 40 the energy start rising, now at 20, now at 10, it might happen. So if this type of situations occurs, then don't worry about it, because that's okay. You have to do 40, that's confirmed. But if you are not able to do, you are doing it, and at that time you are not able to reach over there, before that you go in a meditation, the energy is taking you to the meditation, that's okay. But because you are tired, because you don't want to do, because this is 40 is too much, in that case you have to. So this is how the whole system of meditation will work. We will do meditation after just explanation. Just you are coming for first time, right?
This is first time.
Okay. So let me explain you how we do meditation. Have you done meditation before?
No, I just normally do the pranayam, the yoga pranayam, but not meditation.
Not the flow, right? What we are doing. Okay, perfect. So let me explain you the whole thing in detail, and then we will start doing the meditation. I'm gonna give you the basic highlights which give you idea that what to do in meditation. Basically the meaning of meditation is that you have to do nothing. If you are thinking of doing something, you are on the wrong path. So before you go at that level, the meditation level, there are 2 things you have to keep in mind to just reach at that level. The first thing, as I explained, we have to perform certain kriyas, and there are some environment that we have to create. So there are 2 types of environment. The first environment is the posture of body, right? And the second environment is the mental situation. What will be your mental reactions to the things which will happen in meditation. So when you sit in meditation, at that time you have to close your eyes. That is the first thing. The second thing is you have to relax your body and make your comfortable posture. I am not saying comfortable means you have to sit in this posture, or you can sit in Vajrasana, you can extend your leg, or you can take support, or everything is fine for me. But your comfortableness should be there. If you are saying that the good posture is you can sit in like this, right? It's called Padmasana. But if you sit in like this, within a 5 minutes you are saying, oh, I can't sit like this, I want to move my, even you don't move, still your mind will be focused out here. So a comfortable posture should be there. Now the second thing is that when you are sitting in meditation, you are closing your eyes, you have to relax yourself. That means you don't have to move anything. Before meditation you can move your body. Before meditation, you whatever you have to do, you can do. But once you are sitting in meditation, even a single, let's say I'm putting my hand like this and I'm just moving my finger, no, it's not allowed. If it works automatically, there are two ways. One, it might happen automatically, then in that case you don't have to worry about it. If it is not happening and you are moving, then it is not allowed. Because of the energy level, because of the energy that will increase the which energy which is we call prana energy. If it increase, then in that case there are number of kriyas will happen, and if that happen, don't worry about it. The last thing is that, as I told you, close your eyes, and even close your eyes. Even if you are not in meditation, you are feeling you are not doing anything, still close your eyes, because we don't know when the meditation will start. But if you open your eyes, nothing will happen. So this is the basic posture of meditation. You have to relax yourself. You have to take a posture where you can sit comfortably, and then you have to you just have to sit. You don't have to move your body. If you move your body, you are again going back and starting again. Now the second portion is that you have to think about your mind. First, you have to understand what is the process of mind. Mind is here to generate thoughts. His work is to generate thoughts. If it is generating thoughts, in that case you don't have to worry about why he is or why the mind is generating thoughts, because it will. You cannot stop it. What is your work? Your work is to just see the thoughts. Don't take interest in the thoughts. When you are taking interest in the thoughts, that means you are expanding the thoughts. Let's say the one thought is coming in your mind that I will go somewhere and I will do this. This is a very simple thoughts. It might go away, but if you are taking interest into that, it will expand. Oh, I will go there and I will do this and I will do this and I will do this, and it will increase the power of mind. It will increase the number of thoughts. So in a meditation, what is a basic function is that you don't have to react on anything, because you are sitting here, you are not doing anything, you are just sitting. Even you have to react, you cannot do it for at least half an hour. So in that case, whatever comes over, there might be a situation, there are positive thoughts, there might be a negative thoughts. Positive thoughts means we like those ideas. Negative thoughts means you don't like those ideas. Positive thoughts, you like it. You try to attract yourself in those thoughts. Negative thoughts, you try to remove, like, oh, it should not come to me. I can pressure it down. Other thoughts are very positive thoughts and very negative thoughts. So positive and negative thoughts are okay. You can control it. You can just let it come and let it go. But when you are talking about a very positive and very negative thoughts, it will not give you a chance to think about. You are just sitting, the very negative thoughts are coming, and you don't know where you are involved, and you just gone. So that might happen when you start meditation, and that's not a problem. Just try to observe whenever you come out from there. So this is your first learning. After that, when you sit meditation for every day, the learning will improve and improve and improve, and later on you will be at a situation where you can see those very positive, very negative thoughts. But basically the function of meditation is just to see the thoughts. Don't react on anything. So this is how we are doing meditation. Before sitting in meditation, we were doing 4 kriyas. We will be doing 4 kriyas. I will explain you those kriyas one by one. And then if you have any questions in doing those kriyas, as you had done kriyas before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I don't think so it's a problem, but still if you have any question during that time, just let me know. I'm just giving you the idea. The first kriya is that you have to chant Om, inhale, then start speaking Om for 80% of the time. 20% of the time you have to say M, Om. Alright, so how to do? Let me do it in front of you. this is how the chanting of Om will perform. When I say 1, everyone have to inhale. When I say 2, everyone have to start chanting Om, and we will be doing it for 10 times. Doing the Om is like creating a positive energy in the environment, and this energy we will be consuming during our meditation. So we are creating a food for ourselves, and we will be using it later on when we are hungry. So this is how we will be doing a chanting of Om. Then the second pranayam is that you have to do a Anulom Vilom pranayam. In Anulom Vilom pranayam, you have to take your left hand, left thumb, put it over here, last 2 fingers put it over here, first 2 fingers put it over here, and inhale from here, left side, close it, close the left one, exhale it from the right. Again, inhale it from the right, close it and exhale it from the left. So this is how the system is, and the whole 4 time is considered as a 1 Anulom Vilom pranayam. So when I say 1, inhale it from the left, exhale it from the right, again inhale it from the left, and 4, that means exhale it from the left. So this is how the Anulom Vilom pranayam. Let me do it one time, so that will be very easy for you. Just take a posture. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we will be doing. We will be doing this for 40 times, and after 40 times we will be doing a small breathing and long breathing. In small breathing, we have to inhale and we have to exhale, but the force is less. Let me explain you the small breathing. When you inhale like this, this is what we have to do it for 30 times. When you inhale, your stomach should come out. When you exhale, your stomach should go in. When you inhale, you have to say one word in your mind, and that is called so. When you exhale, another word will come out, which is called ma. So hum, so hum, so hum. So this is what we have to do for a small breathing. Same way we will be doing a long breathing. Small breathing 30 times, long breathing 30 times. Small, long, like this way. So let me explain you the longer one. You have to put your hands like this and inhale, exhale. But now the shorter period is not there. Now you have to inhale long and exhale it long. Like this. So now you have to inhale and exhale 30 times you will be doing. When I say 1, inhale, 2, exhale. And at the end we will be doing a small breathing exercise. This breathing exercise is called Khechari Mudra. You have to round your tongue, put it on the palate over here, and try to push it as much as you can. When you are doing this, you have to do it somewhere around 15 to 20 seconds only, and after that 20 seconds you have to just release it. After 20 seconds, when you are doing like releasing it, but in between time there will be a water in your mouth that might come. If it comes, then you have to swallow it. If it don't come, don't worry about it. So anyway, this is what the process is, and this will connect yourself, your energy, your consciousness level to the nature's consciousness. So this is how we are performing all these 4 kriyas, and then immediately after that take your posture. At that time, if you want to move your body, you can, but once you take your posture and we are starting meditation, then you don't have to move your body. So if you have any question, just let me know, or we will be starting. Okay, so take your posture, relax yourself,